Welcome to the Humans in AI podcast, powered by AI Frontier Network. I'm your host, Flor Laorga. Each episode, we dive into the human story shaping artificial intelligence through the journeys of entrepreneurs, builders, and leaders. We explore the insights, challenges, and visions for the future of AI and humanity. Let's uncover the human side of AI together. Great. Hi, Rajiv. Thank you very much for coming to the Humans AI podcast. We are very happy to have you. We actually want to say thanks to Leslie. We actually as well met. We interviewed her on AIM Journal before. So just hi to her as well. So we're happy to have you here. Yeah, let's start then. So
Really good to meet you as Flor, and thanks a lot for having me.
yeah. So Rajiv, let's go to the beginning, okay, of your journey, of your career. So why did you decide to become an engineer?
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting question. So I think I come from a family of engineers. So my father was an engineer too. And then I think technology and engineering actually has been topics that I think I've heard from my childhood. I've been fascinated with some of the work that he did, right? So I think my father was working as an engineer in a telephone company back in India. And then actually he was in charge of laying the groundwork for mobile network for our entire city, right? So I could actually see the transformative value that brought to the entire community. And I got fascinated with engineering. And I think that moment led me to decide that I think this is probably what I should do as well.
And how did that lead you to focus on analytics in the life sciences?
It's not like a linear journey. So basically, I think like when I did my engineering, what I found was that I think technology and basically computers was actually a medium for me to express my creativity, right? So through my school, I think I could do a lot of projects that basically ensured that I think it was a good medium for me to express my creativity. And when I basically graduated, that's when the software engineering boom kind of was there, right? So I think I naturally got interested in it and I got placed into basically like a large software engineering company. And once I was there, analytics was not the first area that I was put into. I was actually put into basically a project that needed us to change the way that supply chain worked for a large CPG company, right? But in doing that project, what I realized more and more is that data-driven decisions really mattered a lot in many of these fields, right? So when you really look at something in a holistic way, you might actually come up with certain conclusions. But when you have data that is supporting it, or when you look at the data in a fine-grained way, your decisions change dramatically. So the power of data was something that I really got fascinated in my experience, and I just wanted to do something that is related to data. And at that point in time, analytics was not a field, right? So it was core engineering, and analytics also started. So I got interested in analytics.
That's very interesting because now you are the CTO of Trinity Life Sciences, but before talking about analytics, you co-founder a startup connected to analytics. So for me, that's a very interesting topic because you were co-founder of that startup and then it was acquired by Trinity Life Sciences.
That's true. Yeah.
So how did it happen? That's incredible.
So I think, as I was telling you, I think like I viewed technology as a creative medium for me, right? So I wanted to express my ideas and thoughts through technology. So that's been the pattern in which I think my entire career has evolved, where I think I've been involved in really large companies and large transformative initiatives where creative architecture was something that I think I really liked. When the cloud wave started, I could actually see the transformative value that cloud-based technologies could bring to several industries. And life sciences was an industry that could actually be really positively impacted by the intersection of analytics and cloud, right? So I wanted to do something that basically ensured that I think we could add value to several of our life sciences oriented areas through analytics and cloud. And life sciences was actually something that was really personal to me because I think you could directly impact patients and improve wellness through the technology that you create, right? So the whole thought process of whole confluence of my interest being in creatively expressing my thought through technology, the entire cloud transformation wave, and basically like how life sciences could get positively influenced through that actually led me in the pursuit of starting this company, which was at the intersection of all of these three things. And then I think we created a lot of value through that company where we productized and cloud enabled several different processes that were not possible in the past. And that led Trinity to be interested in us and then eventually acquiring us as part of the journey.
How was that for your team? Because I guess that every time that you get acquired, like the culture, the values, it change a little bit, right? So how was that also transition not only for you as a leader, as a founder, as an entrepreneur, but as well as the team that you have? Do you keep doing it? What happened and what was the process for that?
See, one of the things that I think we were very careful in terms of the entire acquisition process was we wanted to basically be part of a strategic company that actually had similar goals and vision to what we started DCube for. So when we basically looked at our potential partners, we basically ensured that there is continuity of vision that is there, where I think we wanted to look at a company that viewed technology, analytics, data science, and the entire investments that we have made as a startup scale dramatically, right? So Trinity basically gave us the platform to scale our technology, and the vision of Trinity wanted to be very closely aligned with what we started in DCube, right? So it was a pretty natural fit. So I think there was no change in terms of strategic outcomes and the investment in technology and many of the aspects that we had to undergo. So there was no change in terms of our end goal. And that made it actually a lot easier to be integrated with Trinity. When we look at my team, I think I would say about 90% of my team that was actually doing products are still there and then contributing to the same vision and the goal that we have, but in a very much larger spectrum. So I think it has actually been more positive than negative for us from an integration perspective, mainly because of the synergies between the vision between the two companies.
Yeah, but with this transition, that obviously is change, right? So in
Yes.
that change or transition, there's also some challenges. So do you have any lessons that you or something that you learned from that experience that you would like to share with us?
Absolutely right. So I think, see, any transition has a change component to it, right? One of the things that I think that we realized is that I think even though I think there were several aspects of commonality between life sciences, Trinity was solely focused on life sciences, so was TQ. Commonality in terms of vision of infusing technology to improve the way I think like outcomes are delivered to our life sciences customers. Trinity basically worked on a wider spectrum of problems than DCube did. So DCube was basically more into analytics and data science and productizing the analytics workflows, while Trinity as a company has been there for a longer time. And then I think the offerings that Trinity had in terms of strategy, PMR work, the insights, and analytics was much, much wider, right? So while I think there were certain pockets of the company that was much easier to basically align with in terms of synergies and analytics and all, it took us quite a bit of effort and several different levels of discussion to basically ensure that I think the breadth of what was possible through Trinity basically aligned with the technology that we brought in. So if you really look at what I do today as CTO, I don't only focus on analytics, but I focus completely on the wide spectrum of offerings that Trinity does. So for us to go from like an analytics specific company to expand ourselves into other areas where technology can help actually presented opportunities and challenges where I think we need to make sure that I think the other areas within the company understood technology well. They were actually like agreeing to our vision of kind of technology being a change driver for their area. And there was a lot of change management aspects that had to be done. So that was actually the major challenge that we did. But I think the enterprise vision of using technology as a change driver helped us because I think that came really from the top. saying that I think like technology, analytics, and are going to be the future, and we are going to be investing in it. But the ground level challenges were there in terms of change management and ensuring that I think the larger part of Trinity shared the same vision in terms of using technology for areas that did not directly lend itself to technology, were some of the things that I think we basically went through.
So you're talking about AI and how you integrated AI, right, with Trinity. One thing that you've been saying that you do transformation through data and the way that you're using AI for that, right?
Yes.
So do you have any example of a story that, for example, that is this tool really impact or influence in a good way to a patient, for example, or if it's not a patient or a team or something?
Yeah, so there's many examples, right? So I think just zooming in on one will not be do. Maybe I'll give you like a couple of examples where I think this has helped, right? So to show you maybe the breadth of possibilities, right? So obviously, as you have mentioned, right, AI by itself is not powerful, right? So the combination of data plus AI is the combination that makes it really powerful, right? For any AI transformation to take place, you need to have your data transformation in place, right? Otherwise, your AI transformation will not be effective. So when we build our products that uses AI, we use our knowledge of life sciences data really well. All of our products that we basically enable uses our life sciences knowledge and our data knowledge that we possess, and then we convert that into an AI ecosystem that our customers can use. What AI, especially the generative AI, has done is basically enabled us to basically influence or basically serve customers who were not technology customers in the past, right? So these are your regular business front end people who might not have used technology really immersively. To give you an example, I think in a large pharma companies, I think there is a lot of medical that are there who are basically there to provide their subject matter expertise on a specific drug or a therapy area to ensure that I think like the drug is basically adopted or utilized in the proper way that it has been designed, right? So these are subject matter experts who come with a lot of biology and biosciences background. They might not be the first people to use technology, but what we have done through the AI and the technology that we have in place is we have created advisors that are AI tools that I think these people can use that allows them to be extremely productive. So they are able to basically serve their customers much better because I think they're being coached by AI to provide more drug related information and therapy related information that is there on their fingertips that was not there in the past, right? All of this in the past was there in documents and materials that I think everybody had to know. With AI and the database training that we are able to do to the AI, now all of this is served out in their fingertips that they can access just in time, right? So if they go to a doctor and then the doctor has a specific question around the drug and the specific way in which I think it works, there can be consistent outcomes across these persona that can be delivered to the doctors, and then it cuts down several back and forth that used to happen in the past. So that is one way where I think like we have influenced a persona who is generally not considered to be like a high technology user through AI and then through the data knowledge that we have, right? So this is something that I think we have done pretty recently, and it's an amazing outcome that I think we see.
We talk about products, about technology. Now let's talk a little bit about humans. You're a person with a lot, not a person, you're a leader with a lot of experience in leading and in building global teams. So I would like to learn, how do you cultivate a team culture, but not only focus on the product, but as well empower them as people?
I think I'm a strong believer in aligning people to their passions, right? So basically, when you are able to, as a leader, when you are able to understand your team and align them to what they are passionate about and where their energy lies, right? I'm a strong believer that results follow, right? So if you're able to basically provide that platform for the team to express themselves through something that they are really passionate about, And what a specific person is passionate about is going to be different from person to person, right? So I think even in the technology world, you might see everybody is like a kind of an engineer, but every engineer has their own different passions. Some of the engineers might like AI really well. Some of the engineers might actually like the core technology that powers AI, then taking it to the customer. So there is a spectrum of things that I think like we do. And then I strongly feel that the first and foremost thing is to align an individual to what they are passionate about. And that is going to be like a specific change driver that is going to be there. And once that is there, I think I'm a strong believer that I think like you need to enable an ecosystem of people able to express themselves freely and in a way that is very safe for them, right? So I think ideas and debates should happen in a really safe ecosystem where people are able to come up and challenge ideas safely without being with no blowback coming on them, or and then it needs to happen at all levels, right? So when you're building a product or a technology, I think there is no idea that is a bad idea, right? And then I think you should also basically have a culture and an ecosystem where any level can challenge an idea. Because I think when you really look at technology, it changes really fast in the space of AI. And then, like, the combined knowledge and the combined ideation is what drives your product forward. So, two things that are really important is the ability to align people to their passion, and then the second one is to provide a safe platform and an environment for people to express their ideas and challenge and debate through the concepts that are really important in terms of forming a team and a culture.
Talking about passion. So you as a leader, I know that you have a lot of external motivation as you want your company to succeed. You want to empower your team to work towards the mission and the goal and the vision of the company. But do you have any personal motivation or personal drive that's not real connected to the company that helps you to be a better leader?
Yeah, see, I think I actually follow the same principles that I kind of advocate, right? So I do what I'm really passionate about, and technology and analytics and AI is obviously something that I'm extremely passionate about. So I think like even in my spare time, I think you can see me going through articles and looking at what is the latest trend and so on and so forth, because that has been like a driving force for me and a passion for me. And I actually, as I was telling you, look at technology as a creative medium for me to express myself, right? So a lot of people look at like music as a way to express themselves. A lot of people use kind of singing or something like that to express themselves. For me, I think like technology has become a medium to express myself. And then I really enjoy what I do. So I think my passion at this point in time with technology is pretty much aligned. So I think that's like playtime for me, right?
Yeah, that's the life of entrepreneur, right? Like your business or your work is not work, it's a lifestyle. It's no longer a work, it's no longer a job, right? It's just
Absolutely
integrated in your
right.
personal life. I
Yeah.
completely understand. Yeah.
See, see, after a point in time in your life, it is really hard to do something that you don't like. So you will definitely want to do something that you really, and if your passion and your work intersects, there's nothing like that, right?
I love your passion. You're a passionate person. Love it. So talking about goals and the vision of the things, like you actually like to what you even have on LinkedIn this phrase, every decision impacts a life, which is as well. And I know that in Trinity Life Sciences, it's already there as well in the website and everything. But I want to know what is the meaning for you as a person, as a leader, not just for your company, but for you. What is the meaning for you? How would you define that for you?
See, basically, I think as a person or as a company, I think we are defined by their decisions. So I think there are a lot of factors that go in on how a person is successful. But I think like one of the significant aspects is the decisions that they have made, right? So I think like you basically form yourself into what you decide over a period of time. And then there is very little that you can go back and then change that, right? So I think the whole concept of decisions framing how a person is applies to the company as well and applies to our customers as well, right? So if we are able to, as a company, influence our customers to make high quality decisions, the outcomes for us as well as for our customers is going to be exponential. So I think I've heard some of these things that are coming in from really large entrepreneurial ventures too, right? So I think Warren Buffett says that I think his job for the entire year is to make 3 high quality decisions. So I think like decision is an important aspect as a leader that I think that allows you. So you need to decide fast, and then you need to basically have high quality decisions with relatively incomplete data. So that is the problem statement that I think like every leader goes. And as much as possible, I think we could influence that positively as a company. We will be like really successful, and we will also move the industry forward.
I feel like you are so integrated to your company that you're just one. You and the company, you and Trinity, you are one. I love it. It's such a good alignment there. Was there any turning point in your entrepreneurial career, right? That it challenged you to change the way that you see innovation. Like for example, now AI, it's been for some time, but now it's the whole moon of AI. If you don't use AI, it's what are you even there? So how did that impact a Trinity?
See, I think what I have realized through the entrepreneurial journey, as well as through my career, is that I think there is no single factor that basically tips the balance. It is always going to be a confluence of factors, right? So if you have more than one or more than a couple of really powerful factors that are going to be going in the direction that you are going, you are obviously going to be like way more successful and impactful, right? So it is important to align yourself to these forces to ensure that I think like you get the outcome done. So in my entrepreneurial journey, while I think we wanted to disrupt the time cost continuum using technology in terms of benefiting our customers, we actually were positively influenced by a cloud wave where I think cloud was picking up dramatically, right? So cloud made a lot of possibilities in the data and the analytics space true, which were not possible in the past. And we were also basically leveraging data science. Data science as a field emerged the last 10, 12 years dramatically. So there was this confluence of our vision in terms of disrupting the time cost continuum, in terms of a market force being cloud that I think companies adopted and wanted to basically benefit, and basically the entire data science and the analytics way that was there, right? So that helped us to be really successful. So I think it is important to look at these factors that kind of come in, and wherever you have a confluence of factors that are going in a single direction, I think that is going to be something that I think is going to be really positive.
So I believe that when you become like such a like influential, important leader that you are right now, because you're a CTO in a pretty big company, you're doing very good actually. But I believe that there's as well like the way that you are like to become the leader that you are today. Have you ever had a mentor in your journey that helped you
Oh yeah.
to be this
No,
way?
I've had several mentors, right? And then I think so basically I think there are two things that I think that has helped. One is I think as you grow through your career, you need to go through a lot of personal transformation. So people who challenge you in terms of elevating yourself actually become mentors in the long run. So there've been a lot of situations where I think I've been challenged in terms of delivering an outcome. And then I think people who have challenged me have actually become my mentors. So that is one aspect. The other aspect that I strongly believe is that I think mistakes are your strongest mentors too, right? So I've done my fair share of mistakes, but I think as long as you learn from them and then don't do that again, they act as a very good mentor for you. So I think these two have guided my way.
So how are you helping your the next generation of AI and tech leaders to help them to guide them to, yeah, as same as people did with you?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've realized is that I think people who are in the software engineering industry or who are more technically accomplished are really into their work. And then I think like they basically got very comfortable with computers and systems than with people, right? But for any person who is there, who is starting their career with technology, the people side of it is really important as well. So how do you really basically communicate? How do you really express your ideas? How do you basically ensure that I think like you reach out for help and network is actually equally important than I think your skills in a specific technology and so on and so forth. And in my career, I've realized this the hard way, where I think like I started off again as like a coder that was not doing some of these things. So I think I actively ensure that I think like I provide the support that is needed for people to express themselves, create platforms to express their ideas, provide networking opportunities that ensure that I think there is a level of energy that is there and a level of comfort that is there within the team that allows them to grow and budget, right? So that is something that I actively do.
Whoa, that's beautiful. We are ending the interview, but I've got a few more questions for you. I really liked your last answer about how are you sharing what you know with younger people, like they want to become a good leader as yourself, right? But let's talk a little bit about the future. What excites you most about the future of AI in life sciences?
So I think we are in a tremendous time, right? So I think we are in the entire, I think very few people actually go through the level of transformation that AI is going to enable for us that I see in the future. And I think we are in this remarkable period of time that I think we get to live through it. So I think I am very positive about the future, mainly because I think technology and engineering and software has been limiting in terms of their user base because I think it needs a specific persona and a specific kind of base knowledge for people to use really complicated technologies. So now I think we are in the era of AI, which democratizes technology like no other technology has done in the past. So it lowers the barrier to entry for people to use this technology. Like people who are not generally technical in nature, like the nurses of the world, the handymaids of the world, the entire ecosystem of people that have not been part of the technology wave now have a chance to participate in it. And then that provides tremendous amount of opportunities for people to develop things that are largely usable. And I strongly feel, I think the overall productivity and the outcome for the entire community is going to increase. So it's a remarkable period of time. I'm extremely excited about this to be part of it. And I'm looking forward to do my small bit in terms of enabling this for life sciences.
I can feel your excitement. Like,
Yeah.
I love it. So, well, I have a last question for you, and it's an open question. Basically, is there's anything that you like to share, like advice for? Well, you already talked a little bit how you guide the next how you like to guide the young tech leaders, but how? So, there's anything that you would like to talk or that we haven't touched or share related to either personal or about Trinity?
So I think from a overall guidance to like younger people perspective, I think I just have two thoughts. One is I think like it is very important to have an open mind. Technology changes really fast, but I think like you should be abreast with the technology and then have an open mind in terms of the possibilities that can be there. And then I think the second aspect is curiosity is something that I think is very important, right? So you should be extremely curious about how things work. And then if you are curious, I think well, you will develop enough knowledge base to basically ensure that I think like you enjoy what you're doing. So far as Trinity and our vision is concerned, I think like we are moving down the path of enabling the next generation of technology and AI to our customers. There's a lot of exciting things that I think we are working through. And then I think we hope to be part of journeys for our customers that actually move the industry forward, right? So that is something that I'm really excited about.
Great, Rajiv. It's been great meeting you. Thank you very much for joining to this conversation. Yeah, I have a great time, to be honest. I really like the passion that you have for what you do. I think it's very, very, very inspiring, to be honest. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again, Flo. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for listening to the Humans in AI podcast. We are here to spotlight the people making AI more human, one story at a time. See you in the next episode.